There is one question from friends and family that I get more than any other question, and that is, why is my computer slow? Now, this is kind of a tricky question because there's tons of reasons why your computer could be running slow. For example, the reason that the internet is running slow is totally different than why your login into Windows is running slow. And so, lucky for you, we've made 10 frequently asked question videos so we can cover the whole range of those different reasons. So, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to set the foundation for the entire digital survival course. Because if you look at it in a general way, all these reasons come down to three things, and I call those the usual suspects. And those are infections, low system resources, and normal wear and tear. So let's go ahead and talk about this in more detail. Let's start with infections. The worst infection to get for a slow computer performance by far is adware because it gives you all those pop-ups and some of them just absolutely take over your computer. The next one is virus and worms, and what these do is they multiply themselves. And so as this virus or the worm grows inside your computer, it just takes out the performance. The next is spyware and trojans, because what these do is they sit and watch you and they report your moves back to home base. And these programs steal your system resources in order to do that. And so it's taking away resources that could be going to legitimate software like your iTunes and things like that. And the last one is zombie bot networks. And we're going to talk about this in more detail. This is kind of a newcomer to the block, but basically a zombie bot network is a network of infected computers that are programmed to send out spam and viruses all over the internet. So obviously, if this is happening, your computer has been hijacked to do something else besides what you want to use it for. And so whenever this happens, whenever you join a bot network, the performance is just going to go way down. Now let's talk about low system resources, and these are your hardware resources. And what happens to a lot of people is honestly they just try to do too much with their computer. A really good example that I've seen lately is people that are trying to edit video like from their camcorder or something like that and put it up on YouTube. And they're editing video that their computer just doesn't have enough computing power to actually process. And a lot of this is due to not having enough RAM. And you'd be really surprised. Adding more RAM to your computer from some of my clients have told me that it's like having a brand new computer. And this is a really key point. Next problem could be just having low disk space. You need hard drive space in order to do a lot of the processing that people are trying to do with their computers these days. And the biggest one, I think, is a lot of times people's computers are just past their life expectancy. And this kind of plays right into the first bullet point of just trying to do too much. And so as you go throughout the course, we're going to talk about when you know it's just time to get a new computer. And I think you'll really appreciate that because we can usually save you money. But getting a new computer is a pain. It's you don't want to move files around, and so knowing when to get a new computer is a good thing. So we're going to cover all different kinds of things on when you should do that. Okay, now let's talk about normal wear and tear, and I think this is really important because a lot of people that I talk to, they think they're doing something wrong with their computer, and that's why it's slow. And computers are a lot like your car. Over time, you have to get things repaired, and it's not like you're doing anything wrong, it just happens. And so, what kind of normal wear and tear do computers get? Well, they get what's called disk fragmentation, and they get corrupted DLL files. And DLL files are little snippets of code that your applications use to run. And if these DLL files get any type of problem, then your computer is going to act really funky and really slow. Over time, your computer gets invalid registry entries, especially as you uninstall programs. And the registry is like the brain of Windows. It keeps track of all of your little settings, especially the settings for the applications that you're using. All of your different preferences are stored in the registry. And the more changes you make to your computer, the more invalid the registry becomes, and then Windows has a hard time operating. And the last piece of normal wear and tear that happens all the time is when you start to find missing or corrupted system files. And the system files are the files that Windows uses to actually operate. It has all of its instructions on how to work. So if you tell your computer to do something and it can't find the commands to go and do that, well, obviously you're going to have programming problems. So those are the three things that we're really going to focus on. We're going to talk about these suspects, the usual suspects, in more detail and how they relate to different things that you're trying to do on your computer. So that is the foundation, and we're going to cover a lot of great information in the course, so I'm really excited to have you on board. I want to thank you for tuning into today's video, and just a quick reminder, you can catch all 20 videos in the Digital Survival series by going to gotslowcomputer.com. Until then, we'll see you on the next video.